Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Kenny. It's a beautiful afternoon here and it's a great time, oh my goodness, for me to show you. Actually, I want to tell you and show you at the same time how to make tomato cages. Tomato cages, they're hard to find. When you go to the store to buy these things, and a lot of people are needing them right now, and I'm getting ready to put them on my tomatoes, but I need to make some new ones, and I'm going to show you how simple it is to do it. These things are expensive to buy, and I believe that you can make them a whole lot cheaper than you can buy them. Of course, you'll have to go to the farm store and buy you some steel wire to do it with. But you hang around and we're going to show you how simple it is to do it, okay? Now, if you're going to make a tomato cage, folks, let me recommend to you this particular type of steel wire. This is a 5-foot high steel wire fence. It's actually 5 feet wide. It's a red brand. It's welded wire fence. And from top to bottom, it is 5 feet. Now it's a 100-foot roll. This will probably do about 25 or 30 cages. I picked this up at the Tractor Supply for $120. I got tired of buying cages that were simply not the right size, shaped entirely wrong, too little, or not big enough, let's put it that way. So we're going to roll this out and we're going to show you how simple it is to make your own steel tomato cages. Now the first step you need to do, folks, is get you something to hold down. Once you get this roll of steel cage material, you have to take and use your cutters, your wire cutters, and lay it down on the ground. Put something on the ends of it here. I've got 3 sticks of firewood, as you can see. So only thing I need to do is roll it out. Now you can see the name of that. It's red brand. It's welded wire fence, made in the USA. Roll it out like this. Just roll it. And you can see it's very easily to roll out. It's almost impossible to buy the right type. There's tons and tons and tons of different species of tomatoes. Some grow short. They hardly grow up at all, and there are others. Now the type that I grow, they grow up to, if you didn't cage them and kept them or keep them pruned and topped, they would grow up 10 feet tall. But I keep them up about 5 feet. So that's enough for now. I have got this rolled out, about 60, 70 feet. So we're going to go back and I'm going to show you how to start with your first cage. Folks, I've got 2 more sticks of firewood laying on this. And remember, when you first roll this out, you've got to keep it down on the ground. And the only way you're going to do that is just make sure you put something on it to keep it from rolling up. It will roll up on you and it could be dangerous if it hits something or somebody, so you don't want to take no chances. Now I have put a piece of tape. This is my first cut here is going to be about 6 feet. So I want my cage to be about 2.5 or 3 feet in diameter. So I'm going to cut. You'll need a pair of these. Maybe not like these, but a pair of cutters. So I'm going to cut 6 feet off of this. Start here, down at the bottom, go like that. Cut 6 feet, or however big you want to make your cage. I want mine at about 2.5 or 3 feet in diameter. So I'm cutting this right here for just that size. Now, I've got my cut. I've got my cut, okay? See how simple that is? Roll that cut up like that, back over to the opposite end. Now, let me tie this to give you a little illustration of how big it's going to be. Now, see, that's the perfect size for my tomato plants. That's about, I want to say 2.5 in diameter. And I'll measure it to be exact here. Let me get my tape measure. I broke this off because it's an old tape measure that just needed to be thrown in the trash can. It's actually 24 inches. That is great. Perfect size for my tomatoes. Now you can cut it different lengths to make it as long or as wide or whatever in size. You can cut it different lengths for different sizes. So that is exactly what I want right there. So I'm going to put this together and then I'll show you. Well, let me show you how simple it is first. I'm going to remove the firewood. As you can see, I've got 3 sticks. Roll it up or take it out. Now, I've got the first thing done that was so easy. Just raise it up like that, okay? And then you lock it together over here on this end. Up here on this end, rather. It's best to use gloves. In many cases, it's hard to do anything with a pair of gloves on. But just look at it like that. You can tie these together, just loop them is the best way to do it. Go down slowly from the top. If you're seeing all of this, I don't know if my camera is exactly like it should be, but you can see my point. Start at the top and just simply go down to the bottom like that. Turn one clockwise and one counterclockwise like that, all the way down. Now, there's one more thing I want to show you here. After you do this, let me briefly get this done. I've got it all the way down to the bottom. Now, got 2 left here, but I don't want to do the other one. So, your tomato cage is made. Now, some people can leave that like that and just let it go down on top of the ground. And you can use some people would use something like a fastener, say like here, like a V-shape fastener, and just stick it down into the ground. If you want to do that, about 3 or 4 pieces, or 3 or 4, about 1 foot apart, or 6 inches would do fine. And you can just lock it down on the ground. Or you can do it like this. It's simpler, a little simpler to do. You can take this off right here, this first layer. Let me show you what to do here. All right, we're ready to do another. We've got our tape measure. We've got our firewood on that end, which we will be cutting it off. And we got our firewood chunks on this end to keep it from rolling up in that way. Now take note of this, folks. Over the years, like I said earlier, I've shopped around for different cages, tomato cages. And it is so difficult, and they're so expensive. And this way, I think you can save a lot of money. It takes a little work to put them together, But let me show you, just start here, how simple and how quick it is. Take your cutters like this and just cut it little bit by little bit here, like this. Just takes a few minutes to cut across this. It's 5 feet. Cut it with a pair of cutters. Now we're down at the other end. Now we're ready to roll it up. Now simply turn around. Let this roll up like that. Now you can take your firewood chunks off. This stuff is real steel, and it can really stick into your skin. But go down here like this, like I showed you earlier. Tie that like that, and do every one of these links like this. Wrap it around there a couple of times, just enough to, you know, it's not going anywhere. Just tie it like that all the way. Wrap it around. If you bought this cage that's 24 inches in diameter and 5 feet long or high, you would probably pay $50 for it, if not more. I challenge you to go to Tractor Supply or to any farm store that's got a cage this size. I grow the big heirloom tomatoes, folks, and I'm telling you, those plants, when they reach 5 feet, you cannot grow them without having them caged in. They are simply too big. And if you try to grow them on the ground, the only thing you're going to wind up with is rotten tomatoes. These have got to be raised up. These big heirlooms, they've got to be raised off of the ground if you're going to get any kind of harvest out of them. This cage would probably cost you $50-$60, providing you could find it, but good luck. Good luck. I don't think they make them like this. This is totally different from the ones you'll find in the farm store. Take a good look at that. 24 inches in diameter. Now, let me show you a very simple way. Like I showed you earlier, maybe right here, okay? You can take and go to the store and buy you some fasteners, some steeple-like instruments that will stick down in the ground. And you can do that. If you want to buy that extra, that's entirely up to you. But it might cost you a little more than you want to pay. But do it the simple way, like this. This here, just take it off. And up here you've got 4 or 5 inches to stick down in the ground. So watch me carefully. Just take your cutters, go like this, all the way around this cage. Takes about a minute to go all the way around this cage and cut this round circle at the bottom. And by doing this, you will not need no fasteners to pin it down to the ground. Now, we have a lot of storms during the summertime, and I've had my cages blow over in many cases to where that, well, you've just got to go and pick them up and place them back in place. But if you do this, the odds of them falling over will be less likely. All right, now simply pull it off. A little bit of that may still be sticking there. Pull it off, like so. There is your part that you have taken off. Now, you've got these that are ready to stick down into the soil. Just take it to the garden like this. See the big? These are nice nails, if you will. Just put it over top of your plant, stick it down into the soil, and that will stay in place. You do not have to have any other method to hold your tomato plants or your tomato cages in the ground. This is the cheapest, quickest, fastest way to make your cages, and a whole lot cheaper than buying them. This will make me, this roll, which is 100 feet long, it will make me about 25 or 30 cages. They're 24 inches in diameter. So give this a try. If you're needing some tomato cages, and they're hard to find right now because everything is in limited supply, people buying up a lot of stuff, but try this. It won't take you very long to fix as many tomato cages as you really need. So we are gonna close this out, and if you like this, listen, subscribe to the channel, and we hope we showed you a method here that will save you some money. So you have a great afternoon, and